It was a battle that would decide the fate of Europe, a clash of civilizations that pitted the Christian Franks against the mighty forces of the Umayyad Caliphate. A moment in history where one decision, one charge, or one retreat could have rewritten the world as we know it. The year is 732. The fields of central France tremble under the weight of an advancing army, a relentless force from the south, undefeated, unstoppable until now. On the other side, a hardened warrior stands his ground, leading a desperate resistance, his name, Charles Martel. What led to this fateful confrontation? How did a Frankish army, outnumbered and outmatched, manage to halt one of the most powerful military forces of the time? And what if the battle had gone the other way? What would the world look like today? Tonight we step back in time to uncover the truth behind the Battle of Tours, the fight that shaped the destiny of Europe. Welcome to this thrilling deep dive into one of history's most decisive battles. And in this episode, we unravel the events that led to this monumental clash, the key players who shaped its outcome, and the lasting impact it left on the course of Western civilization. Stay with us as we travel back to 732, where the fate of a continent hung in the balance. The Battle of Tours, also called the Battle of Poitiers, took place on October 10, 732 CE, between the Frankish forces led by Charles Martel and the Umayyad Caliphate's army under Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi. It was a pivotal conflict in European history as it marked the halt of the Muslim expansion into Western Europe. During the early 8th century, the Umayyad Caliphate had rapidly expanded across North Africa and into the Iberian Peninsula, modern Spain, and Portugal. By 711 CE, the Umayyads had conquered most of Visigothic Spain, and they continued to push north into present-day France. Their objective was to extend their control further into Europe, possibly linking up with Muslim territories in Italy. Abdul Rahman al-Ghafiqi, the governor of Al-Andalus, led a large army across the Pyrenees and into Frankish territory. After plundering cities such as Bordeaux, the Umayyads advanced toward Tours, a wealthy religious center. Their expansion threatened the dominance of the Frankish kingdom, which was under the rule of the Merovingians, but effectively controlled by Charles Martel, the mayor of the palace. Charles Martel assembled a coalition of Frankish and Burgundian forces, estimated to number between 15,000 to 30,000 troops. In contrast, the Umayyad forces, though larger, possibly 50,000 troops, relied heavily on cavalry. Martel positioned his troops on high ground in a defensive phalanx formation, using a wall of shielded infantry to counter the Umayyad cavalry charges. The Franks were well trained, disciplined, and heavily armored, which gave them an advantage against the lightly armored Muslim cavalry. For several days, both sides engaged in skirmishes, but neither committed to a full-scale attack. When the Umayyads finally launched their assault, they were unable to break the Frankish lines. According to some accounts, Charles Martel's forces spread rumors that the Umayyad camp was being looted, causing parts of al-Ghafiqi's army to withdraw. During this confusion, al-Ghafiqi was killed, leading to a collapse in morale among his troops. By the next morning, the Umayyads had retreated, effectively ending the battle. Halted Muslim expansion. The battle stopped the northward advance of the Umayyads into France. Although Muslim rule continued in Spain for centuries, they never launched another major invasion into Frankish lands. Rise of Charles Martel. The victory cemented Charles Martel's reputation as a strong military leader, eventually leading to the foundation of the Carolingian Empire by his grandson Charlemagne. Christian Europe's defense. Many later historians, particularly during the Renaissance and Enlightenment, viewed the battle as a key moment in the defense of Christian Europe against Islamic expansion. Some modern historians argue that the battle's significance has been exaggerated, as the Umayyads were already overstretched and facing internal struggles. Others maintain that had Martel lost, Western Europe might have faced continued Muslim incursions. Regardless of interpretation, the Battle of Tours remains one of the most important battles in European history, shaping the course of medieval Christendom and the balance of power between the Islamic and Christian worlds.